Hello folks! In the following presentation, we will analyze the case study of Amazon in emerging markets. This is a real-life case study which shows challenges faced by project manager when developing project in emerging markets. The purpose of this case analysis is to apply the knowledge learning class to identify the failures, its potential causes, and recommendations to these and similar projects in emerging markets. Define whether Amazon succeeded or not in China, India, and Brazil, and the learnings obtained from this project. Identify and describe the effectiveness of actions taken by Amazon in its emerging market entry strategies, and recommend solutions to rescue each project or conduct successful projects in emerging markets in the future. Amazon is the largest e-retailer in the world based in Seattle, Washington. The company was founded in 1944 by Jeff Bezos, who has been its CEO to the moment. Amazon started as an online bookstore and later diversified its products to sell DVDs, videos, MP3, furniture, food, and others. Initially, Amazon International expansion started in 1998 with Germany and UK, and then was followed by Canada, France, and Japan in 2000. However, Amazon's biggest challenges started with its expansion to emerging markets in 2004.
Technology advancement has brought in a new age of internet, telecommunications, and most business owners are trying to do business through that because it allows the consumer to do business at the convenience of their house, whereby they don't have to interface with the consumer. They can also make money doing that. Amazon, eBay, Google, Walmart, and all these companies have started using this method of doing business because it's easier and convenient, and it takes away the hassles of meeting and interacting with the consumer. And this has got a lot of success in the United States. So some of these companies are now moving towards emerging countries. Amazon.com, which is a Fortune 500 company, also has taken advantage of it and is, because they've seen the success in other countries that has resulted into, is carried into the increase in their revenue, as you can see on the chart on the right corner of the of this presentation. So, but there's been a lot of issues with moving into emerging countries, like competitors, country-specific laws, logistics, and method of payments, because some of these countries believe in cash payment.
First, we will look at the emerging market strategy of Amazon in China. The history of Amazon in China. In 2004, Amazon entered China by acquiring Yoyo.com, an online retailer of books, music, videos, and other products in China. In its first year, Amazon started offering books, CDs, and DVDs to customers in China's largest cities. In 2006, Yoyo was still the largest online bookstore. By 2007, Yoyo was rebranded to Yoyo Amazon. In this time, Amazon was working to increase the variety of products to electronics, beauty care, and watches. In 2011, Amazon Yoyo was rebranded as Amazon.com. In May of 2013, Amazon China ebook store was launched, and in July, the first Kindle was launched in China. Since its first years, Amazon tried to replicate the customer experience they delivered in other developed countries as US to gain a positive publicity among its clients in China. Amazon increased its 3 initial fulfillment centers in the largest city to 15 centers and included a cash-on-delivery payment options. However, by 2013, Amazon's percentage of sales was in the 5th position compared to other e-retailers, with only a 2.7% of sales. So, did Amazon succeed in China? Clearly not. In 2013, the market share of Amazon in China represented only 2.7% of the market, and in its first quarter of 2017, it had decreased to 0.9%. Therefore, considering the initial low market share of Amazon and its decrease since 2013, we can conclude that efforts to conquer China e-retailer market have failed for Amazon. First, because Amazon business model was not adapted to China. Amazon was more worried about how adapt its US business model to China than develop a new and competitive advantage over its rivals in the new emerging market. Amazon didn't know how to play local and adapt its business to Chinese customers. Amazon started to sell products without considering its rival business strategies such as Alibaba, HNet, and JD.com. The second reason was Chinese law regulation challenge. The Chinese laws regulated Amazon content, sale of products and services, and demanded that Amazon website be operated by a Chinese-owned corporation. This regulation limited Amazon operations, and Amazon didn't have a solution to overcome this limitation. Business strategy and publicity in China were another challenge. Whereas the competition was using internet ads on major Chinese portals and commercials in all of the major TV channels, Amazon was trying to gain publicity through its good reputation. In its emerging market strategy in China, Amazon learned about the challenges entailed in conquering a new market and that it is important to understand the impact that cultural difference may have in the preferences of the customer at any market. They understand the importance of playing local and adapt the company business model to the customer needs and demand. And this is also related to strategic planning. Amazon's mission in the market was not properly developed because clearly they didn't work and identify how to develop a competitive advantage over their rivals. Amazon also learned how to develop solutions to overcome last mile delivery challenges in China and the cultural implications in emerging market strategies. Amazon emerging market strategies in India.
Amazon wanted to move into India. One of the things they did because of the experience they had in China was to start by using a platform called Zhongli.com that helped them gather enough data. They helped them to see how they're going to work within those within the country. This, then they launched in 2013. What they did is, they had a lot of partnerships with the moms and pop stores that already had influence in there. They were very creative with how to give people access to their website, and also they were very creative in investment. They've invested a total of 5 billion in the last 3 years, and also they've been able to know, they, because of the issues of logistics, they created their own delivery network. They had their own fulfillment facilities as well, and that resulted in a lot of success. And some of the things you can read on the slide, they have like now 30 million products listed in India. And if you look at the right corner on the chart, in 2015, 2016, their market share had increased from 14 to 22%, which is a big increase.
Emerging market strategies in Brazil.
Amazon, throughout its expansion to Brazil, made several good choices. Among them, we can tell the launch of a new way of payment, installments. This was one of the best movements because in the decade of the 1980s and 1990, when the inflation in Brazil reached more than 6,000%, many stores, in order to do not lose their goods, started to offer installments as a way to incentivize the market. This strategy got so root in the Brazilians that today is one of the most common ways to buy items, especially the most expensive ones. They negotiate deals with DLD, Distribuidora de Libros Digitais, which control almost 35% of the market. Because Amazon kept the same business model, this was of the key movement. DLD has a good market share, and they know how to play local. This movement flattened the way to dominate this segment of the market. Also, they increased its book selection to 28 titles in Portuguese. This increased the variety among Brazilians can choose, being this decision aligned with the Amazon business model. However, Amazon also took some bad decisions. For instance, they keep the same business model. Amazon's mistake was to continue bidding on the same business model which was implemented in the United States, trying to fulfill very different needs for very different customers. tried to sell its Kindle reader only to satisfy 3% of the market. Amazon tried to hit a market of 200 millions. And with the launch of the Kindle reader, they only tried to hit 6 million of that market, which translates to only 3% of the market. Also, they did not take into account the high Brazilian import tariff on electronics. One of the biggest drawbacks of the Brazilian market is its high import tariff on electronics. This situation led to companies such as Nintendo to leave the Brazilian market. For instance, the Nintendo Wii U at launch in the US cost $300, whereas in the Brazilian market cost $830. Amazon experienced the same situation with the Kindle Reader that at the moment of the launch cost in the US $119 and in the Brazil market $215.62. Amazon does not offer the most popular items that are bought online. The top 10 items that are bought online in Brazil are flights, hotels, clothing, footwear, large home appliances, TV sets, and mobile phones. Also, cinema tickets and groceries. Among these top 10, Amazon can easily supply clothing, footwear, large home appliances, TV sets, and mobile phones. Success may vary according to the objective of the plan. One common objective for Amazon might be how the movement may impact the vision. This is how the current movement helped to achieve future state. Market share. This is if after the operation the company got the market share desired. Sales. Is the company making the number of sales that it forecasts? Also, how the customer perceives the brand. If the brand of the company perceived as a good brand among the customers. Also, keeping high levels of productivity. This is important for all businesses. It is my team working at a high level of efficiency. Are the country regulations successfully understood so that the company does not have to spend more than the average time to fulfill all the paperwork? Innovation. Is the company adapting to the circumstances? It is creating a new stream of income? It is the competition behind of us? If not, why? And the development of new ways to overcome this.
Risk management. Risk management for projects of expansion to the emerging markets. In the case of Amazon, they have to take care about some of the risks that were identified. Some of the examples of the risks that Amazon can get in front are high taxes, currency fluctuation, lack of regulation, electricity demand, plummet, expropriation risks. In the table that you can see, there are some likelihood and also the mitigation recommendations that can be implemented. For example, when for the high taxes, the likelihood is medium, and the mitigation can be that the cost-benefit analysis. With this analysis, we can evaluate if the cost of the operations, including the high taxes, are good for the business. Also, the cost evaluation or negotiation with the government are good options for to take care. For example, in the Dominican Republic, when you are in a free zone, taxes are lower than when you are outside the free zone. What are the risks and rewards for early and late movers? Then provide a list of rewards and advantages of being an early mover. Some of these rewards are listed. For example, technological leadership, preemption of resources, switching costs, and buyer choice under uncertainty. This means that early movers can open a market. They are new in this market and their ideas will be different for everyone. They will be the pioneers in the technology. But what happens when there are late movers? For example, Amazon was a late mover in some of the countries. Late movers can adopt the experimental results developed by the early movers. Therefore, the cost is reduced for research and development because the early movers already started the research for the new technology. They get the benefit of the innovation effort done by early movers, and also they can create product for non-customers instead of the product for new customers. They can make an improvement of an actual product that is being in use in the market. In the case of Amazon, they could have various consequences of being late or too early in an emerging market. For example, Alibaba had a volume of transactions of $240 million. This amount beats Amazon and eBay combined. Therefore, Alibaba was a company that was difficult to overtake. On the other hand, Amazon could take a leading from Alibaba, but Alibaba has the control of the market. Amazon not only assumed the early movers technology, they improve it and offer a better service and new options for delivery. An example is the bicycle for intra-locations delivery. Amazon perform a risk management and mitigate the risks associated with the emerging market that were wanted to expand.
In the following slide, we will look at recommendations of potential solutions that could have helped to rescue each project in the different emerging markets or conducting successful emerging market projects in the future. Some recommendations that could have prevented Amazon from failure and that could serve for future projects in emerging markets are an assessment of the customer behavior, hiring people with expertise on the market that know what the preferences of the customers are, a study on market trends and preferences, and diversify the product offered based on the preferences of the market. If we look at the top 10 factors for online shopping in China in 2015, we can see that product quality is one of the major factors for online shopping in China. Also, Amazon's biggest rival in China was Alibaba, and they identified that women were the number one online shopping and diversified these products directed to women because women think in the children and their husband and buy for the whole family. So a proper assessment of the customer behavior in the market using local people would have helped Amazon to develop a better strategy.
Then some of the recommendations I would give for India, Amazon India, is to be cautious and collaborate with the government to understand the evolving Indian commerce law and be able to work with them to create variable regulations. And also one of the issues they need to look at is the state laws so that they can, they can be able to overcome some of the intricacies of the state laws between from one state to moving from one state to another, since they're doing business all over India. Another thing is to understand, for them to understand, is their customers' experience and satisfactions. Because if the customers are not satisfied and experienced, they, with the experience they have with Amazon, it might cut down on their use as well. Then Amazon should make an extra effort to make sure that their security risks are mitigated, especially with the issues that they're using a lot of cash and they're getting cash from people, and also security in terms of technology as well, making sure people's data are not stolen. Then they should work with financial institutions to provide a way people can pay online without providing their information, which is one of the issues that people don't want to use e-payment, or be able to create an awareness with the banking facilities on the safety of e-payment. That would be another thing. Then Amazon should be careful about their growth and make sure they have the right resources to grow at a sustainable rate. So that's some of the recommendations I have, and thank you. Bye.
Recommendations for Brazil. Amazon should continuously collaborate with the government to understand the Brazilian e-commerce laws and taxation rules. They also should develop a platform for payments as an enhancement to the installments and as a direct competitor for Mercado Pago. They should start to offer products that are manufactured in Mexico. This is because Mexico signed a free trade agreement with Brazil that includes the reduction of import tariff between 20 to 100%, agreement that companies such as Ford and General Motors are taking advantage of. Furthermore, Mexico is part of Mercosur and Pacific Alliance, free trade agreements between more than 12 countries in South America. These make Mexico the perfect pivot point to conquer the e-commerce of South America.
Each project, by definition, is unique. Hence, the implementation of a store at the level of Amazon in different countries is a challenge. Each country has its own set of challenges that need to be overcome in order to be successful. It is in this journey that overcome those challenges where the company needs to be creative. Study your rivals. It might be the company is creating the market or that arrive late, but always pay attention of their strategies. Companies such as Mercado Libre in Brazil, Alibaba in China are successful. Amazon might come out with ideas to improve its position in different markets around the world. If you want to be successful in a new territory, you have to move there. Niccolo Machiavelli.